2 dudes, 1 girl, and 1 cat, even though he'll insist he's not a cat. What will they do this time on Dragon Ball Z? Wait a minute, this isn't Dragon Ball Z. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Persona 5 Royal. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we started our infiltration of Kamoshida's palace properly. Playing that, we'll raise those bars, rather, and lower some others. This time, we're going to continue our exploration of the thing, and the stuff, and the other thing that does stuff. I'm very descriptive. As we continue just pulling levers. Now, yeah, so I'm also going to continue talking about mythology and other things like that, because that's kind of the gimmick with this series. Maybe calling it a gimmick is a little bit rude to myself. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, who knows. But, we're going to start off by... Hold up, is this... I feel like there's something that some fun line here. Nope, okay.
Focus.
So, of course, we recently have gotten onto our team. We've talked about Arsene, we've talked about Zoro, we've talked about Captain Kidd. That just leaves An's persona, that being Carmen. Carmen. I'll get into... Let me just show off her... what it says on her background here.
And finish.
That's that. Time to move. Going into stats, we can go to An, we can go to persona, we check background. The gypsy thief from the novel by Marame, which became famous through the opera by Bizet. She's a femme fatale who's very beautiful, but also very capricious. As it says here, based off of the 4-part opera by Georges Bizet, and based off of the novella by Prosper Mérimée. Both French dudes. You know, what a surprise. People with names like that are French. I really... Where the heck am I supposed to go now? Why can't I just remember what... There, okay. So... I'm dumb. Need my handheld. But yeah, let's just slip on over. Carmen itself is based in southern Spain. And is the story about, well, okay, it's initially a story about a soldier by the name of Don Jose. Don being a title, not his... There weren't just a ton of people in Spain named Donald. Everyone was, you know, it was a title. I don't remember exactly what. I think it's like head of the family, basically. Jose is seduced by a gypsy by the name of Carmen. And the novella by Mérimée was mainly about the life of the gypsies in southern Spain. And so, you know, a little bit of a interesting thing with that.
Treasure chest spotted. Let's open it.
So, Jose, he ends up getting seduced by Carmen, who was in prison in the novella, for attacking a soldier, some of Jose's fellow soldiers. In the operetta, or not operetta, this is a full-blown opera, she was arrested for hitting some factory women. This would then, eventually lead, the seduction would lead to Jose letting Carmen go. And from there, things just kind of spiraled out of control, honestly. Eventually, Carmen, she ends up falling in love with a bullfighter by the name of Escamillo, and this is a little bit heartbreaking to Jose. Jose had, in the past, he had his own, I think he was even married to, at least, he was going out with basically his high school sweetheart. Obviously, not high school. This is Spain in the, like, 1200. That's like 1900s, I'm pretty sure. Whatever. But basically, it's just good stuff for him, not so much for everyone else. Falls in love with, I believe it was Maria? What was the name again? Let me double check. I can't remember what the name is. I can't remember what the name is because I forgot to put it in my notes. Anyways, point of the story. Eventually, Don Jose ends up killing Carmen out of jealousy because she fell in love with some other dude. And Carmen kind of, not necessarily revolutionized operas, but it was definitely a very well-renowned opera because of both in terms of the music that it had and in terms of the... Yeah, sometimes they'll speak to you. And... That'll take it. Both in terms of how the narrative was, how it did talk about some of the lower class things, how it mainly talked about gypsies. Gypsies never been respected in Europe, basically. And, yeah. Musically, very well renowned. All sorts of things going on. Carmen, one of the best operas, widely regarded as one of the best operas, that is. I, myself, not really a listener of opera, so I can't really comment on that. So yeah, Carmen, pretty simple. Oh boy, this is... Well, are we getting...
I don't think we're going any further this way.
Should we check somewhere else? Wait, look up there.
What about it? Are we throwing a rope over that and climbing it?
Phantom thieves do things a bit more stylishly than that, and I know just what'll do the trick. Good. Seems like it fits properly. That's just a little something I've been working on in secret. The grappling hook lets you zip to hard-to-reach locations in a flash. You'll see what I'm talking about when you test it out. Go ahead, give it a try.
New and royal, we have a grappling hook, which is really cool. We can see grappling hook things. We can also see just our hand will just light up when we have things that we can grapple onto. So that's nice. You just press L1 when you're looking at it, and you zoom.
This is amazing.
This is amazing.
And we can keep going down. We can keep going up.
Nice going.
Go up. There's a treasure chest. Sooty gear, we will be able to clean it off eventually. So now that we've taken care of all of the big personas.
Hey.
By the way, Flaming Red guys, always look out for them. Flaming Red guys are super powerful.
There's a dangerous one.
Try not to get into combat with them, unless you're really over-leveled. Even then, I'd recommend against it, if possible. We'll just take this book with us, the Slave Book.
I have something.
Now we can start talking about some of the other persona that we've seen, the ones that are less memorable in terms of being a single character. First one, it's kind of random we picked it, we have the Jack-o'-lantern. The Jack-o'-lantern's very, very popular in America. Mainly used with the pumpkin, carve face to a pumpkin, you're good to go.
That's ironic. A shadow with a sunny expression. Let's match
I don't want to eat you. Upbeat ones are super easy to do. I'll just be nice. We get a Kelpie. Now, carving faces into vegetables, carving vegetables in general, hasn't necessarily been something that's new. Also, I'm just going to release my Jack-o'-lantern just as I'm talking about him. This is done mainly since projected to be around 8000 BCE. Some well-known things are that the Maori, who are seafaring people in the Pacific, have they've carved faces onto gourds before. Now, jack-o'-lanterns in themselves, they're mainly based off of some things having to do with the will-o'-the-wisp. Will-o'-the-wisps were basically, they were weird flickering lights in bogs. Honestly, probably just fireflies. That'll be something we'll see quite a bit. There'll be a lot that is just really, really boring what the explanation for it is. Also, I don't remember what these guys are weak against.
How could they be this strong?
Huh. Anyways, jack-o'-lanterns were then made popular during the Irish festival of Samhain. Samhain, essentially the basis of, well, not necessarily the basis of Halloween, but the... Really have to return to the prior safe room? What in this is... Well, we keep our experience, it's fine. What do we have for Persona? I needed to come back here anyways, it's fun. I wanted to go back and transfer them. Jack-o'-lanterns were originally made by carving them into turnips, which kind of look terrifying. I've seen a few pictures of the jack-o'-lanterns with turnips. They scary. They real scary. Eventually, a lot of times it is said that the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow's fame has been really weak to fire. Okay.
Its power will be mine.
Has been a lot of time the Headless Horseman been attributed with jack-o'-lanterns as well. This is mainly based off of there was a smashed pumpkin found besides Ichabod Crane's hat after it found something. I haven't read Sleepy Hollow fully. I do just have basic notes. I need to eventually read through a lot of these stories myself, but I'm lazy. Just gonna be honest. Eventually, the pumpkins were attributed to jack-o'-lanterns in America, at least, in 1834, and eventually associated with Halloween itself in 1866. A lot of the jack-o'-lantern stories are based off of trying to... This is Bicorn. Are based off of trying to get him to ward off evil spirits. So, a lot of times you have... you put a jack-o'-lantern, it gets the evil spirit away. I don't know exactly how it works. Mythology is weird. Probably the most well-known is in this... the most well-known part of the jack-o'-lantern, of these tales, is that of Stingy Jack. It's an Irish tale where Jack, he tricks Satan into being trapped and ransoms his release in exchange for Satan not taking his soul. This is either through I believe it's either chasing Satan up a tree or getting him, I think it's like chased by people or something like that. I forget. Oh, right. We're now level 7. But, so, essentially what ends up happening after this point is that eventually, Satan does agree to this because he wants to be free. He doesn't want to be chased by pigs or something like that. Or wants to just get down from a tree. And eventually, as humans are wont to do, Jack dies. However, because Jack was kind of a douche in his life, he doesn't really have the purpose, he's not really allowed to go to heaven. But, of course, Satan agreed not to take his soul. So Jack kind of just left wandering around. And, quote, Jack now had nowhere to go. He asked how he would see where to go, as he had no light, and Satan mockingly tossed him an ember from a flame of Hades, where that would never burn up. Jack covered one of his turnips, his favorite food, put the ember inside it, and began endlessly wandering the earth for a resting place. He became known as Jack of the Lantern, which would eventually be shorthanded, I guess, to Jack-o'-lantern. So yeah, Jack-o'-lanterns, they're well known, especially in America. Again, I can't really say too much about other cultures. I'd assume they're fairly popular, but again, I only have so much that I know. And there we can just go and get a critical, and because this is in the past, we can Again, upbeats are really easy, just be nice to them. Love letter, whatever. So yeah, jack-o'-lanterns, they're probably one of the longer ones that we're going to have a little bit of description on this early on in the game. Oh, my coloring's different on the notes to the next one. And the next one that we'll be talking about is the Pixie. Yes, I get my commentary for this isn't really all that exciting, but oh well, I think it's cool. Pixies, they're probably also pretty well known because they are, you know, they just exist, like, they're all over the place. And, there's no need to explain. Not meaningless? Okay, cool. We get a Silky. So, fairies or pixies are similar to fairies and sprites, but pixies are very different. A lot of times they have been kind of combined, pixies, fairies, sprites, all been combined into one. They are different, however.
Okay.
A lot of times pixies are found in the lore of the British Isles, as well as in, Devon. Well, okay, mainly the British Isles. It's, a lot of times in Cornwall and Devon. So, you know, just a subsection of southwestern England is where they mainly show up, where folklore around them has shown up. And they've also shown up a little bit in the French region of Brittany. That's actually what I was going to get to until I read the wrong part of my notes. And unfortunately, Morgana's going to run out of his SP pretty soon. Pixies were, during the Christian era, of course, obviously, over time, Europe became very Christian. So a lot of the folklores that were in the past kind of got repurposed. They got reused for other things. And during this time, it would be that pixies were said to be the souls of unbaptized children. So, probably going to be a lot of pixies around. So, there are, of course, these would mainly be seen in Cornwall and Devon, as I said, and there was a little bit of some specific... Really? Really? You can fast forward by pressing start. Or just skip through it, yeah. Yeah, let's just start from the safe room, I guess. The Gathians are annoying because they have so much health. They're so defensive and tanky and whatnot. Devonian pixies are generally said to be pretty harmless. But, I mean, they're generally harmless, but they can kind of be assholes. They can intentionally mislead travelers, and you ward that off by inverting your jacket. Because, sure, why not? A lot of mythology had really weird ways to ward off spirits. A lot of times, pixies were known to help out with house cleaning. This would... So, you know, they help out with the house cleaning, they make sure everything's all nice and dandy, and they also help out a lot of older widows. So, yeah. They're pretty good, actually. I mean, pixies, they're, again, assholes, but well-intentioned assholes. The ones for the Cornish are generally associated with good luck, as opposed to just being helpful around the house. And they are generally led by the queen of them, Joan Vallad, who herself was a will-o'-the-wisp, which, again, is what the jack-o'-lantern is based off, or what somewhat is based off, not entirely. There is a lot of melding between the personality, between the other ways to live? Yeah. You know, mythology of fairies and pixies and sprites, they've kind of all been muddled together throughout the years, so I'm not exactly going to get too much information out of that. And a lot of times pixies are said to reward consideration and punish neglect.
Okay.
Hopefully, I can actually get to somewhere I can speak for more than... well, I can actually go through these a lot quicker. This is taking... Like, these mythologies are taking a lot longer than I expected, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of had considered putting them at end slates. However, those would have been, if my bullet point notes are going 10 minutes each, then those would easily be half hour each. But I'll do them at another time. So, all in all, in progress, we made nothing. And next time, we'll continue to make no progress. So until then, see you guys later.